Hello everyone, and welcome back to Old Dad's Modeling Mess. And in today's video, I finish up the winner of my first ever You Pick My Next Build series, stolen from Andy, of course. Thanks, Andy. The German Panzer Kpfw 38T from Tristar. Things have been going pretty good so far in the build, but it doesn't last long. It almost ended with a huge mistake on my end. Sure, we've all made mistakes when building before, but this was honestly just this was a downright bad mistake. It honestly, I thought it almost ruined the build. So just keep watching. Maybe you'll pick it up. Maybe you won't. I don't know. But we'll see. Anyway, off camera, as you can see, I've already primed and got the base coat on there. And right now, I'm doing some chipping. I was using the chipping fluid on a couple other things, and things were going really good, so I didn't want to mess with it. I kept going with it, and for some reason things just weren't working out. I have no idea what it was or anything like that. I know that if you put the chipping fluid on there lightly, it takes a lot more to start the chipping. I didn't do that with this. I actually put it on pretty heavy because I wanted to make this part go as quick and easy as I could. It wasn't working. I had to resort and break out the brush and stuff like that, but I'll get into that here in a second. Then the next really big issue that I had was, and this is a total me screw up, of course. When I did the photo etch, the toolboxes there on the side next to the turret, they came out great. But as you can see, putting them on there meant I had to relocate all the tools. I didn't realize this. The toolboxes there are an optional build, and with the way that the build was going, it was just I was really enjoying it. I'm having fun. It's a cool little build. Got the photo etch fenders on, the braces, all that stuff. I got these toolboxes made. The hinges were a pain in the ass, though, I won't lie. Those were a huge pain to do, but I got them on there, and I completely missed the little double-ended arrow where, optional build. So for me, I don't really like the tanks without tools. So as you can see, I relocated them, and I think that actually, I think it helped it out. I think it made it look better because I'm one of those types that I don't like the big empty spaces, if that makes sense. I know this is a small model here, but there was just too much open space. So in a way, by me missing that, I think it actually helped the model look better, because now all those empty spots are filled in with something. I know that they're not really supposed to be there, but what can you do? I'm sure they had the tools somewhere. They were probably just inside the tank, on the real thing. But yeah, it was interesting. As you can see here, I'm still struggling with trying to get this chipping fluid to work. You see I've got a sharpened piece of wood there, and I'm trying everything I can. And it's not that I want to chip it up really bad or anything like that. I just I used it on a couple of models, the chipping fluid, and you'll see that on the next build series that's getting ready to come up. It worked fabulous. And I was like, dude, if I could just recreate that just a smidge on this one here, it's gonna be killer. And yeah, so common sense probably should have told me, hey, why don't you stop and let the water soak in a little bit longer, because if you haven't noticed, we're like 5 or 6 minutes into the video right now, and I'm still I'm still trying. And even with using the piece of wood, the problem with that was in some places it actually went down to the plastic, and it went through the primer and the whole red primer, because I primed it and then I put the whole red on, and then I sprayed the base coat over it, which is a blue gray, because I was trying to match the box art. Yeah, well, as you guys will see here at the end of the video, it's nothing like that. As you can see now, I've finally just given up on trying to do that, and now I'm just doing it. I chipped in with the paintbrush, and now I'm filling in the darker spots, to show the inside, the whole red and stuff like that, plus for some rusting and stuff. But with the way that I used that piece of wood, I had to do it this way here because, like I said, in some of those spots, it actually went down to back down to the tannish colored plastic from the kit. So I was left with no other choice. So enjoy the music while I continue working on this, and I will check back in a few. Have you ever had one of those times where when you're in the build, something starts to go wrong and it just keeps going? I'm at this stage right now, and I don't even know it yet. Common sense would have said, there's, with the whole chipping thing, something just don't seem right. Maybe I should stop for the day and, give it a rest and all that. Yeah, no, I didn't do that. So my problems started to compound here next with my next little ingenious idea that I came up with. I have some powdered snow effects, and so as you see there in the little paint tray, I have the muffler, and I've damaged it, and I've put dents in it, and I've drilled out and scratched up some holes to make it look rusty. So my brainstorm idea is well, I've got this powdered snow. I mean, instead of using baking soda to get that rough texture, I'm going to use that. I mean, it's the same thing basically. Yeah, let's just say it didn't work out the plan. I mean, I'll start from the beginning. The chipping fluid, it didn't work. Okay. So as you see here, I had to finish all that up with the brush, and then with the whole muffler thing, luckily after I added the stuff to it and I looked at it and I was like, holy crap, I have to get this off of here before it looks like a chewed up piece of bubble gum. And again, I'm going to say this one more time. This is where common sense should have kicked in and told me to stop, but it didn't. My common sense, as I said before, it went on vacation and left me unsupervised. So the calamity just continued and continued. All right. And I didn't stop. I kept going. And that is where I completely screwed up and almost ruined the entire build. It's coming up, and I don't know if you guys will catch it. I kind of hope you do, but yeah, it was a rookie mistake. I mean, this is something that you can understand. A young kid messing the somebody that doesn't have any experience building, just something like that. You can. Nope. Yeah, I completely whiffed the whole thing. And the best part about it, or the funniest, the saddest, however you want to look at it, I did not even realize what was going on yet. Okay, enough build up. What I did was, in the next little spot here you're about to see, I'm going to start doing the weathering process. I get out the panel liner and I start doing that, and I'm trying to get this stuff set up. And as I'm going along doing this, I'm noticing things just aren't quite looking right, and it's not hitting me as to what the hell the problem is. I think it was like 2 days later, because I finally got to a point where I stopped, because I just, the build, the model was not looking right at all. And Reimagine Models has this series called Chewing the Sprue, where he's just talking about model builds and stuff like that. And he was talking about, how sometimes modelers miss steps or rush into things and stuff like that. And he mentioned spraying clear varnish on the kit before doing the panel lines and weathering. And then it hit me. Yes, you're about to watch me do that. I'm doing the panel lines and all the weathering, starting the weathering process, and I did not varnish it, which meant it was staining up, it was spreading, everything was acting wrong, and my dumbass just kept going and going. And by the time I realized what happened, like I said, it was a couple days later, I thought that the whole build was ruined. And so I've got a bunch of things racing through my head trying to figure out what the hell I'm going to do to save this. And luckily, I was able to do that, I believe. I think you guys will like the end results. So please learn from my mistake, and don't just keep going. If you feel something's wrong, stop. Go back to basics and double check your steps. Make sure you didn't miss any like I did. But luckily here, I was able to turn it around. Since I had everything the way that I was originally planning on building it, the only thing I could think of was to make this look like an old abandoned tank on a cliffside or something. And it just so happens that my wife and I, we had started a couple little small dioramas, as you can see here. I did a little cliffside. My wife loves wolves, so she did a little cave, and I 3D printed her up some a family of wolves. And as she's been working on that little scene had just been sitting there. So now the only thing that I can do to salvage this is start in on this here and hope like hell that this works. So enjoy the music. See if you think I was able to save this or not, and then let me know down below in the comments. I'll be back to check in with you here in a few. So, as I was talking with my wife about this and everything, she told me, she goes, "You got some of that stuff, you can make a stream." And I was thinking that the little diorama thing there that we were working on, I thought it would be too small, but then, you know, the whole abandoned tank thing really kind of made sense. Like, what if it got stuck on this rock slide next to a stream? So, for the next couple of days, that's what I did. I built up the diorama, I added some foliage, and a lot of those rocks that are down towards the bottom are actually rocks out of my driveway. I just went and pillaged me some rocks to make it look like, you know, there's a rock slide there, and the tank just got caught in it or something and got stuck or couldn't get out. So I tried to rust it up pretty good, and I washed it a whole bunch because I wanted it to give it that dingy look. I was hoping that the rusting and the diorama and the rocks and everything would kind of pull the attention away from the mistakes, so to speak. And I think it came out pretty damn good. So my wife, you know, like I said, she's kind of into this stuff. She's more in the arts and crafts stuff, but she's actually a pretty good help when it comes to this. She normally watches my videos after I get done editing them and tells me if I need to change something or whatever. So I trust her, and it's worked out pretty decent so far. Now, for Andy, of course, I had to put a bucket on here somewhere. And I didn't want to have a whole bunch of stowage on there because, you know, it's been abandoned, but I decided I'd take and rust the bucket up and stuff like that, and I'd hang it from the rear hook there, tow hook on it. And I really do. I think that I was able to save the build, even though it is completely nowhere near what I wanted it to do. I hope you guys agree. And I'll be honest with you, if I wasn't doing this build for the channel here, it probably would have just got put in a box and forgotten about. But it's kind of hard to do that in this situation because, you know, I had already made 2 videos on it already. And I did learn something, though, and this goes back to Reimagine Models. I need to slow down on the builds because at this time I had 5 builds going. So it was time to slow down, gain my composure, and focus on pretty much one build at a time, and hope that reduces my chances of messing up even more. So yeah, that's how I'm going to start doing it from now on, because yeah, this here, if it wouldn't have been for the channel, I probably would have just said, oh, yep, it's done, and forgot about it. But hopefully this will also encourage you guys, if you make a mistake or something like that, or have something catastrophic like this go on or happen, you can actually fix it too. You know, I was in a crunch here. I didn't know what the hell to do, and I pulled this out of my ass. So if I can do it, anyone can do it. So yeah. As always, guys, thank you for watching my videos. If you do enjoy this type of content, drop a like and a comment below. This lets YouTube know that you guys like watching my videos. If you're not already, consider subscribing to the channel. This helps it grow, helps me make more content for you guys. Plus, I get to buy more models, which is awesome. The channel has a Discord. If you guys don't know, it's nothing fancy, but there's channels in there for everybody to hang out and talk. Channels for you guys to post your own build pictures on. And we got some really good ones in there. Build ideas. So if you want to see something on the channel, put it out there. Maybe we can do something. Part 2 of the series, the You Pick My Next Build, is coming. And the mighty Su-85M tank destroyer is next in line, so stay tuned for that. And until the next video, enjoy the pictures, and I will see you guys later. Bye.